You're the reason a narcissist hasn't slept properly in weeks, and you don't even know it yet. That person who made you question your sanity, rewrite your personality, shrink yourself into corners just to keep the peace, the one who always had to win, always had to be right, always left you feeling like you were the problem, right now, somewhere in their life, they are unraveling. Not because of something dramatic, not because karma showed up in a movie-like moment, but because you stopped playing the game, and that broke something in them they genuinely cannot fix. This video is about the signs that tell you it actually worked, that you actually won. Not in a revenge kind of way, in a freedom kind of way. Here's something most people get wrong about defeating a narcissist. They think it looks like a dramatic confrontation, a big speech, tears, a moment where the narcissist finally admits everything they did. That is not how it goes. Real victory over a narcissist is quieter than that. It's almost invisible, and the signs show up in their behavior, not yours. Let's get into them. Sign 1. The smear campaign kicks into overdrive. The first sign is one that can genuinely confuse people into thinking they've lost when actually it means the exact opposite. When a narcissist realizes they've lost control over you, real control, not just surface level compliance, the smear campaign accelerates. Suddenly, they're telling your mutual friends things that don't add up. Suddenly, people you barely know have opinions about you. Suddenly, your name is in rooms you were never in. Here's the thing about that. A narcissist's power runs entirely on narrative. They are, at their core, a story they tell about themselves, and that story only holds up if the people around them believe it. When you leave or go no contact or simply stop reacting, you become a loose thread, and a loose thread can unravel everything. The smear campaign is damage control. It is them running around trying to patch holes in a story you've stopped participating in. The louder it gets, the more threatened they are. Psychologists actually have a term for this, narcissistic injury. It refers to the deep, almost unbearable wound a narcissist experiences when their self-image is challenged, and the response to narcissistic injury is almost always aggression, verbal, social, or otherwise. The smear campaign is that aggression wearing a smile. Sign 2, the Hoover. The second sign has a surprisingly domestic name. It's called hoovering, as in a vacuum cleaner, because they try to suck you back in. After a period of silence or after the smear campaign doesn't land the way they wanted, a narcissist will frequently reappear. The form it takes varies wildly. Sometimes it's a text that seems genuinely kind, almost disarmingly so. Sometimes it's a crisis, real or manufactured, that requires your immediate attention. Sometimes it's through other people. They seem really different now. They've been asking about you. What's important to understand is why this happens. A narcissistic psychological architecture depends on what's called narcissistic supply: attention, admiration, emotional reactions, control. You were a reliable source of that. When you exit cleanly, they experience something resembling withdrawal, not because they love you in the traditional sense, but because you functioned for them in a way they haven't been able to replace. The Hoover is not a peace offering. It is a recruitment attempt. Recognizing it for what it is, that's part of the win. Sign 3. They perform for the audience. This one is subtle but deeply revealing once you see it. When a narcissist has lost their grip on you, they begin performing loudly for everyone else. Social media posts about how well they're doing, public displays of their new relationships, new achievements, new life, and almost theatrical happiness that seems calibrated to reach a specific person, you. There's a concept in psychology called proxy control. When direct control is gone, a narcissist will attempt to influence you through witnesses. They want you to see them thriving. They want you to doubt your decision. They want a reaction. Here's an interesting fact. Research in personality psychology has found that individuals with high narcissistic traits show significantly elevated activity on social media following relationship breakdowns, and the content skews almost entirely towards self promotion and status signaling. That's not healing, that's broadcasting. A genuinely healed person doesn't need an audience for their peace, they're just at peace. Sign 4. They lose their composure in small, unexpected moments. The fourth sign is the one that tends to catch people off guard. It doesn't show up in a confrontation, it shows up in a grocery store, at a mutual friend's birthday, in a comment on a post you didn't even tag them in. It's a flash of something, a anger that seems disproportionate, a remark with a sharp edge, an expression that passes across their face before they can control it. Narcissists are extraordinarily good at managing their image. That control is one of their most practiced skills. So when the mask slips in a small, low stakes moment, that's significant. That's evidence of something brewing underneath the surface they can't fully contain anymore. What you're witnessing in those moments is the friction between their constructed self and whatever emotional reality they're actually living. The bigger that gap, the more it leaks. And you being free, genuinely free, not just physically gone, but emotionally untethered from them, widens that gap every single day. Here's what I want to leave you with. Defeating a narcissist was never supposed to look like winning a fight. It looks like no longer needing to. It looks like watching all of this from a distance and feeling something you forgot you were allowed to feel. Indifferent. Not angry, not sad, not even satisfied, really. Just done. That's the real victory. And if you're somewhere on that road right now, even if it's messy, even if some days you still second guess yourself, you're further along than you think. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What was the moment you realized you'd actually gotten free? The small moment, the big one, the weird one. Every story in the comment section of this channel is someone else's reminder that it's possible. See you in the next one.